So the Fever, they're 0-5. Not a very good basketball team. I think we've all figured that out. But at the end of the day, we cannot judge rookies by their team record. If we're judging rookies by our team record, then Victor Wembanyama's a bust. Then Kelsey Plum is a bust. Then Aja Wilson's a bust. We can't judge them by their team record, especially when they're a team that is learning basically as the season goes on. But Caitlin Clark had her best game as a pro. She had by far her best game as a pro. Shooting wasn't quite there. But again, the shooting percentages are going to come back. But they lost again by 2. And they had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to win that game. Caitlin Clark played 32 minutes. She was +7 on the floor. And it's actually at the stage now where I just feel bad for Alia Boston. I do feel bad because she's very clearly spent the off season, like, great announcer, like, her stuff outside of basketball, she's been exceptional, and she got those opportunities based off her exceptional college career and her exceptional rookie year. She very clearly did not come back in good enough shape to play, especially at the pace they play with Caitlin Clark. These two players do not fit together in general, and like, she's just not at the races. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she is the worst player right now for this Fever team. When she was on the floor, what was her minus? Minus 18. She played 14 minutes. She was minus 18 on the floor. She had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and was 2 of 7 from the field. How many turnovers? It says Alia Boston only had 1 turnover. Caitlin Clark had a couple, a few down the stretch. But, like, she was driving in, and even if some of them weren't giving us turnovers, she was at fault for losing the ball. When she came back in the fourth quarter, at 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they take Mitchell and Clark out of the game for I don't know what reason. Coach Sides, I would question the competence of her. They tied the game at 69, and she took out her 2 best players. And with 5 minutes to go, the game was tied at 69. She took out her 2 best players, and she put them back in. They were down 7 with 3 minutes to go, and pulled it all the way back. But it's just really confusing. But even the first possession after Caitlin Clark came out of the game, and I'm thinking, okay, Clark's out of the game. Maybe it's a thing where it's like they're not good together, but when Clark's off the floor, Boston can take over. Seattle Storm missed a shot, and she literally stood and watched the ball. She watched the rebound. The ball bounced in front of her. A Storm player just ran in, wanted more, got it, scored. I don't know what's wrong with Alia Boston, and I genuinely feel bad, because I'm talking about this game just purely from a basketball standpoint. Like, she should not start for this team. She straight up should not start. Fagbenle is a perfect center to play with Caitlin Clark. Alia Boston is... Look, she's an exceptional basketball player. I just don't know where the Fever go. Do they look to trade her? Because she's got to come back in the next off-season, whether it's playing overseas or whether it's working harder or doing something different. But clearly, this off-season has not been good for her. But for the other players, Mitchell had a really, really good game. Again, not shooting the highest percentage. I think she shot a worse percentage than Caitlin Clark. She got some big shots down the stretch. The shot she finished, I don't understand how it was overturned. I kind of get it. Like, if it's a no, it's one of those ones where it's like, she was playing, I don't know who it was that ended up making contact from the Storm, but she was playing defense, and when she drove to the basket, like, there was contact leg to leg. Whether or not it was like clean or not, I don't think it should have been overturned either way. If it wasn't called, I don't think it should have been overturned. But the standard of refereeing is pathetic as well. And I'm not just saying like pathetic in the way of like they were robbed. No. Like, Caitlin Clark, to end the third quarter, took a layup, got hit with the damn people's elbow in the middle of in the freaking middle of her shot being blocked. No call. And then a couple of possessions into the fourth, someone from the Storm is driving to the basket. The shooter, Whitcomb, and Caitlin Clark just bear hugs her. She just bear hugs her, like, just an intentional foul. Like, it could have borderline been a flagrant, but like, she just bear hugs her to stop her from shooting, and the refs don't even call a common foul. And then late in the game, it didn't really matter. Actually, you know what? It probably did matter, because I was about to say it didn't matter because they got a turnover and Mitchell came down and got the and one. The and one didn't count. Caitlin Clark shoots a 3, gets hit in the arm in the middle of her follow through, shoots it so short. Like, according to the commentators, it's minimal contact. It's like, She shot it 6 feet short. Like, it's not like she shot the ball. She shot it. It's not like it was even close. It was 6 feet short. And then they called the freaking... They didn't call it. And, it's just... And it's not even unfair one way or the other. I don't think the referees changed the outcome of that game one way or the other. I just think there is a serious competence level among everything. And I do think the bigger the league gets, the better it's going to get. The referees are terrible. The score officials... The scoreboard said that the Storm had 2 timeouts left when they had none. When there was 11 seconds to go and the Fever had the ball down 2, all of a sudden, or say down 1, was it? All of a sudden, there was a minute and 11 seconds on the scoreboard, which is kind of wild. And the game ended in the worst way possible. So they run the play. Not a great pass to Caitlin Clark. Should she have done better with it? Probably, as far as the catch. But she did a good job after the fumble to get the ball, to make sure she was the one that got it, scoop it to Alia Boston. And in fairness, there's nothing she could do in getting wrapped up for the jump ball. She was in a jump ball with a guard who didn't even jump. The guard did not jump with her, and Alia Boston jumped up, slapped it, and I don't know, I think was it who was it? Was it Smith? Was it Smith, I think, that... Sorry, what am I saying when Mitchell came off? Smith came off with 5 minutes to go, who was probably their best player. Smith had Owumake sealed, and she hit the ball and hit it... Like, Smith was on the left with a bit of a seal. Owumake was on the right. And this is down 1 with about 6 seconds to go. She slapped the ball right into Owumake's hands. Or was it? It wasn't a Owumake, actually. Whoever was hands, she just slapped it into their hands. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And then with 2.6 seconds to go, I don't know if they panicked, but they threw a pass to the free throw line for a 3/4 court shot game winner, as Caitlin Clark and I think it was Hull, again, not entirely sure, ran long. So instead of just trying to throw a touchdown pass and going long, just on the off chance they could get their hand on the ball and score, they threw it for a 3/4 court shot. I don't know if it's a panic or I don't know what it is. On the upside, though, the Fever have a 5 that are damn good together. The 5 of Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Fag Benley, Smith, and honestly, like Samuelson's fine, Wallace, just Alia Boston off the floor. And I hate to say it, but basketball's a meritocracy. And anyone go, like, the amount, if I'm Alia Boston, like, you stay off social media, stay off all this and just focus on basketball, because there's nothing to be gained from being on social media as a professional athlete. And by on social media, I mean be looking through your mentions, be looking at this stuff. And I know it's hard not to do. It really is. Like, as someone surprising, like, if you guys don't know, at one stage I ran a really, really big NBA 2K channel, and there'd be entire, like, forum posts dedicated to giving me abuse, and I don't know why I would sit and read them for hours at times. Like, it's hard to not read the crap that's being said about you online, but like, she's just got to do it. And as far as basketball is concerned, this game is a meritocracy. Unless they're tanking for Paige, unless they're tanking for whoever, even if not Paige, whoever steps up in college this year, unless they're in full tank mode, Christy Sides has got to bring Alia Boston off the bench. Like, she picked up 4 fouls as well, and minus 18. She is getting, like, if she is 4 feet away from the ball, it's like she's not going to get it. Her rebounding, she was exceptional at last year, is just gone. And the team looks so good when they play fast. Like, when Fag Benley plays center, her and Caitlin Clark, like, every time the ball gets put to Caitlin Clark, Fag Benley straight to the basket. Like, a couple of passes were dropped, cool. It's not as many as the start of the year. Caitlin Clark looks up. The amount of passes to her teammates Caitlin Clark gives. She is not the best Caitlin Clark is not a half-court point guard. Like, everyone's saying, oh, she's got to run the one. No, she's not a half-court point guard. She is one of the best transition point guards, like, you see at the pro level. Like, just how she looks up, how she constantly is trying to get the ball forward. And when she's running, when we're running with a 5 that are willing to run, the Indiana Fever look like a damn good team. They do look like a good team. The problem is that their supposed best player does not fit with that. So if you're the Fever, you probably do look to trade Alia Boston if you want to win, because I don't see there being a scenario this year anyway where there's any sort of fit between her and Caitlin Clark, because like Caitlin Clark, the way both of them want to play is so different. And also, I just don't think right now, maybe if Alia Boston gets in shape for in an off season, she could help. I don't think she helps the Fever win games, unless they're trying to lose, that is. But overall, another positive performance. Like, by far, Caitlin Clark's best game as a pro. By far, her best game as a pro. The team are starting to figure it out. And yeah, they're 0-5, but look, they didn't stand much of a chance in the first 4 games. And again, if Wemby started off his career facing Denver twice and Boston twice, which is basically the equivalent of what happened, and they started off 0-4, you give them a pass. You give Wemby a pass. And just like we do in the NBA, when exceptional rookies are drafted to bad teams, we cannot judge them by team record. We just can't. And all the idiots in the comment section are going to be like, she lost the game. It's about their career. Caitlin Clark is not the best WNBA player right now. We've all figured that out. But it's all about improving game on game on game. It's all about getting better with her team game on game on game. It's all about the team getting better game on game. Because the Fever aren't going to be good this year. The Fever may not be good they may not be great next year. But it's about a couple of years. Like, again, Kelsey Plum was exceptional coming in. Her team wasn't good. A'ja Wilson's arguably the best player in women's basketball right now. Her team wasn't good. But they were good eventually. They began to click. They got better and better and better, and eventually they became what is seen as maybe the greatest WNBA team of all time. We're up there with them anyway. But yeah, a lot of positives for the Fever. If you're one of these people and one of these idiots in the comment section that are just going to say she lost, that's not looking at the big picture of basketball. Because there's in a sport where there's a draft system, it's very, very rare that you're going to see a rookie have any team success, regardless of how good the rookie is. But Caitlin Clark is the best rookie. Like, Cameron Brink might win Depoy. Angel Reese is a great rebounder, but Caitlin Clark is the standout rookie, and we saw it in the second half. Like, when she's in there with that lineup with like Benley at center and Smith at the 4, the way they run and the way she just orchestrates that whole team is as good as anything is as good as any guard that I've seen in the WNBA this year. I'm gonna be honest, as far as just all around game, not just scoring, because that hasn't quite come yet. She hit a couple of nice threes. She got one of Skylar Diggins. Nika Mule. Oh, Nika Mule. She played 2.5 minutes, and her first defensive possession was getting hit with a step back 3 by Caitlin Clark. I do feel bad for her, but it's great that she is back playing. Either way, though, Caitlin Clark's the real deal. She is the real deal. Like, her all-around game is translating. She's not going to drop 40 a game, but she's going to, more than likely, I would say, end the season averaging 25 and 6, and they're probably going to win I think they're going to win more than the 13 games they won last year. I think they're probably going to win around 16, 17 games and be in the run-in for that number 1 pick again. But a really, really good game there. Her 5th game, and regardless of the defense, the way the defense is, the fact is that when she's running with that running lineup, they can't completely focus on her on defense, because she's with a bunch of players that actually are now spotting up, that are cutting, that are running the floor and allowing her to play. As well as that, again, 7 assists, and if you count the amount of hockey assists in that second half, the amount of time she drove in, would kick to the corner, who kicked to the wing, and they'd hit a shot. The Fever are fine. Maybe not fine this year. They're fine long term. Trust me on that one. They're completely fine long term, but they've got to just figure out the current Alia Boston problem, because they can't just keep expecting Alia Boston to be last season's Alia Boston, because I've never seen regression like that in a player year on year. It's very clear that the 7-month off season, that she didn't put in the work in that 7-month off season, because she's not in shape. Her sharpness isn't there. And regardless of all the social media stuff, which is awful, by the way, there's absolutely no need, but it's just a game of basketball, she's not at the races right now.